Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Carrie's Gardening Channel. So we're getting our tomatoes started off here. Okay, so I put my gloves on because one thing that I do, I was finding that a lot of the different tomatoes, with some of the different things that's going on with blights and diseases, they were actually seed-borne. So what I do is, my seed starting mix is already moistened. I use the Jiffy Natural and Organic Seed Starting Mix. I'll have links down in the description for the different stuff that I use. And I already have that pre-mixed and moistened and in my 4-packs here. So I take a little bit of my cold pressed neem oil, I mix it with some water. I'll put the ratio that I use on the video. And I just take the mixture, I go over this a little bit just to get this in here. Smooth out anything that gets displaced. So you can see here what the tomato seeds look like before I soak them. And just gonna I might have put in there 1, 2, 3, one more. Oops. 4. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swirl these around. The one is under the other one, and I'll make sure I actually have 4 of them in there. So I'm just going to swirl these around in here. Just going to swirl them around. And yeah, 2 of the seeds are stuck together, which that happens sometimes. And that helps to get rid of any kind of seed-borne blights and diseases. You can see I have 2 seeds here.
No way I could. Egg eye.
So up first is the Tomato Parks Whopper. You do want to make sure that you label your seeds. Just putting these right on top here. And the only reason that I'm wearing gloves is just because of the neem oil. I just don't want to get that on my skin. Now these germinate in about 7 to 14 days, but we do check on ours every single day. And you want to make sure that your seed starting mix stays moist, but not soggy. So I'm going to empty out any extra mixture that I have in here. You can see I have my seeds right here. I'm just going to gently cover these. Now if you choose not to use the neem oil solution, the only thing that you'll have to do is after you have your seeds planted, take with a fine misting bottle or your watering wand and go over your seed starting mix to get that seed nice and moist. There. Just gently cover over the top of them. You do not want to get your seeds down too deep. If you get them down too deep, you're going to have issues with them coming up, or they might not come up at all. So these are all planted up here, and we're going to take these into the greenhouse here. It's pretty warm in here. You can just stay there. And we're going to be putting these down here on my heated floor. So this is my germination mat, is the floor. I'm just going to move these other ones that I have here. I'm going to get these a covering lid here. I never put my lids on tight. I always leave some airflow. Your seeds need oxygen to germinate, so I always leave some open space for them. Our tomatoes are up. Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Carrie's Gardening Channel. Today is April the 15th, 2024, and our tomato seedlings are ready to be transplanted. So I have my 4-inch container here. And we did did bring these outside temporarily so we can work outside because the greenhouse is full. So I have my potting mix here. We're using the Miracle-Gro all-purpose potting mix. And I put a little bit of soil in the bottom of the container here. You can see our root systems. We're going to break our roots up here and we're going to bury this down. See, I have it down in here. And this stem here that will be all under soil will all send out new roots. It's going to give us a stronger root system. Now, if your plants are shorter and you're finding that the soil is coming up to your little seedling leaves, the first leaves that come out, you want to take those off and then you can fill your thing with soil. Quite a bit of air in, so I'm just going to push this down here just a little bit, because when we water it, it's going to sink down even more, our soil. So, I'm leaving a little barrier from the end of the container to the top, and that'll be the water reservoir. We're going to get some water put on this till it runs out the bottom. See the soil sinking and it's shifting and moving. So it's running out the bottom here. You need a little bit more soil here. Finish this off. Right now we're writing the varieties on. I'm going to be putting tags in then, and you can find the tags that I use down in the listing description. That's how we transplant our tomato seedlings, and we're going to take these back in the greenhouse. Now it's very, very important, especially if you're growing your plants under lights, that you harden your seedlings off to the outdoor growing conditions before you just plant them outside. I have a video on my channel that I'm going to put at the end of this video. You can click on it and it will show you how to harden all your seedlings off before you plant them outside. It's a very important step. If you don't do that, you're going to wind up with sun scald on your plants. It can actually kill your plants if it gets too intense. So just want to make sure that you're hardening your seedlings off before you put them outside, and your regular plants too. These here planted so far. And this tomato plant here is our Mr. Stripey heirloom tomato. And we've been growing this for years. We had this from when I was little. And when I started growing this one here back, I think it was like 2009, I started collecting seeds from it. So this here is one of the ones from the seeds that I've been collecting over the years. And this is a wonderful tasting tomato. It's an Old English hothouse variety. It is a little bit more to grow this one. Sometimes it can be a little temperamental, but I'm just going to take off any leaves here that have anything in that I don't want on. And what I'm saying is anything that looks a little bit yellow, if it has any spots in, they're coming off, and then we're just going to get rid of them. This has a wonderful sweet flavor to it, and it's one of our favorite tomatoes to grow. You can with it if you mix it in with the other red tomatoes because it is a lower acid tomato. Really sweet flavor. It is a bystander. Never had this one crossed with the other tomatoes. I've always had it stay the same. It is an open pollinated heirloom. I do have other videos on my channel, which I will put a thing that you can click on to see some other videos for the Mr. Stripey tomato.
Sometimes you wish you had a big shade cloth over, huh?
It would help with as warm as it is out today. To get these waters here. So we have our beautiful tomatoes over here.
Tag somewhere.
Oh, the writing came off again.
Well, there was a tag.
So this year we are growing the Chef's Choice, the Better Boy, the Park Whopper, I'm trying to think what else, Early Treat Hybrid, the Early Girl, Mr. Stripey, and then trying to think, did we grow that Beef Plus?
These are just thinned out. Let's see what we got in there.
So this is what we got so far here. That's a nice one. You see these?
Not yet.
That's a nice one.
It looks pretty red.
Yeah.
Right, it came off easy.
Ooh, they smell good.
That's not a rot. That's just the way the blossom did.
So we're about out of twine. We're gonna have to get some more, and we're getting this here tied up. You can see how much they've actually grown from when I did my
They're a shorter height now.
video just a few days ago on the garden tour. There we go. See how we tie them up there.
We need to get room to get through.
Here. That is pretty. You might be able to get it better from the other side. Well, I know we can't really get through. That's beautiful.
This end up here used to not give good tomatoes, but this year it is.
What does that sound? And here we have some of our Mr. Stripey tomatoes. Now these do have some blemishes in them. And I can see some different ones that we have in here. There's a bad spot on one of those, so we're going to have to address that really quickly.